Next, covering this topic both by triangle law as well as parallelogram law. Basically, triangle and parallelogram law are same things. They are the two sides of the same coin, and let us see how these things work. Uh, Let us assume that we have a force acting A, and perpendicular to it there is a force B. These forces are starting from origin. One is on right hand side and one is on upward direction. So the resultant, like the combined effect, means if there is a boat I am pulling in this direction and there is a boat you are pulling in this direction, the combined effect of these two forces will be that the boat will be going into this direction. Similarly, you pull in this direction and I pull in this direction, and then the combined effect of the boat will be that the boat goes into this direction, right? This final the pull of the boat is called as resultant. Again, there is an example. You pull in this direction and I pull in this direction, then pull of these two forces will be resultant will be like this much. It will be more inclined towards A because A is more strong. Okay. Like if I increase B, the inclination of R will move towards B. So in this situation A is more strong, so R is here. See here, in this case this is A and this is B, so there is more of resultant is more inclined towards the B side. So I pull in this direction, you pull in this direction, but your pull is also very strong as compared to me, so the resultant is more inclined towards that pull. Okay, now we talk about how do we calculate these values. How do we use parallelogram law to find the resultant vectors? Because whenever we have a vector, we will be having two forces and we will be needing to find the resultant. So let us see how these things work. This is vector A and this is vector B. B is inclined to A at an angle theta, and this is parallel to B, and this vector is parallel to A, so they are equal vectors and it forms a parallelogram, right? Now condition is you must consider one thing. Whenever we have to find the resultant, either the vectors should be co-initial or co-terminal. Either they should be coming out or they should be coming in. Means if I extend these lines to this side, then they are coming in, but here they are going out. So either they should be both of them, both the vectors should be outwards or both the vectors should be inwards, and theta will remain same, resultant will remain same. Only for calculation purpose we have to consider that these two vectors are co-initial or co-terminal. This is a co-terminal vector and this is co-initial vector, right? Okay, so this is how we will go about it. Now in this triangle, now we see if this is B, then this is B cos theta, and this is theta, so B, and then this becomes B sin theta. To find the resultant of A and B, we have a resultant which is given by the magnitude of the parallelogram, and we need to find the value of the magnitude of the vector and what angle it makes with the A vector. Okay, now we have to find this resultant. So what we do, this resultant I can say is acting in this direction, rather it is acting in this direction, not I am saying it is acting in this direction, and this resultant is sum of A vector and B vector. It gives me the combined effect, right? Let us assume that this resultant vector makes an angle beta with the A vector, because I will be in a position to find the magnitude as well as direction, that how much angle it makes with the A vector. This is B cos theta and this is B, sorry, this is B sin theta and this is B cos theta. It was otherwise, it is a mistake, just correct it. This is B sin theta and this is B cos theta. So now we find this magnitude of this is a triangle now, okay, right angle triangle. Then R square should be equal to this square, this plus this square. So it is equal to A plus B cos theta square plus perpendicular B sin theta square means A square plus B square cos square theta plus 2AB cos theta plus B square sin square theta. Cos square theta and sin square theta, they make the value 1. So it comes out to A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. So R comes out under root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. So this is I am able to find the magnitude of the vector. That is very much clear. This vector will be having this much of magnitude. Now my further aim is to find the angle beta also, because without finding beta I will not be sure that how much inclined it will be towards the vector A. So tan beta, this is again a triangle. So tan beta is equal to perpendicular upon hypotenuse. What is y perpendicular? It is B sin theta, and base is A plus B cos theta. So knowing this value, I can find the value of angle beta, that how much beta angle it will be making with the A vector, which is in horizontal direction. Okay. Hope this is clear to you. So R gives me sum. Now let us see what other diagonal is doing. R, I have already explained that this is sum of vectors A and B, and this is one diagonal. So R is equal to A plus B, which means it is resultant. In many engineering applications or problems, you will need to find the sum. If he says find the resultant, then the examiner means you have to find the sum. Now let us see what the other diagonal is doing. Let us assume this diagonal has a value x. Okay, then A plus x gives me B in this triangle. So A plus x is equal to B vector, which means x is equal to B minus A. Means what is this? This is sum. One diagonal was sum, then this diagonal has come out to be difference. So in a parallelogram, one diagonal will give me sum and other diagonal is going to give me difference for sure, always. Remember this thing. Okay. Hope this is clear to you. So you will be having such applications where you will be you should not be confused between sum and difference. Then if sometimes there is a question, the person is asking find change in value. Change in value means you have to find difference. Means in those situations do not find sum, find difference. Okay, let us take an example wherein we have a arrangement, like we have a vector A, we have vector B, and parallel vectors are equal vectors. If this is B, this is also B, and this is also A. This is minus A because it is opposite to it. This is minus B. It's minus A. And this is also B. This is A, because parallel vectors again you have to consider in the same direction, that they are equal. Okay. This is minus A. Now we have multiple diagonals with us. In every box we have a diagonal, and we have to find the resultant, and we see how do we calculate the values for every kind of diagonal we have with us. Let this diagonal be x, then A plus B is equal to x vector, because two directions, if I start from here, I am going with the flow. This plus this gives me this. Okay, any triangle, any parallelogram. Now in this triangle, see, B plus Y is equal to A. So A is resultant. So this you have to remember. The two vectors which are in same direction, they add up and they give me the value of the third one. Gives me the third one which is opposite to their flow, that gives me resultant. Always, once for sure, remember this thing. Third vector always gives me resultant. It cannot be, it is not necessary that it is always hypotenuse. It can be perpendicular also, it can be base also, it can be non right angle triangle also. Okay, the third vector in opposite direction will always give me a resultant. Okay. So here it is b plus y is equal to a, so y is equal to a minus b, and here it is x plus b is equal to a plus b is equal to x, because they are in same direction and this is opposite, so a plus b is equal to x. Now x plus a is equal to minus b, which case it is x x plus a is equal to minus b, means this x is equal to minus of a minus b, and if this is y, then a plus y is equal to b, because this is the triangle. A plus y is equal to b for this case. A plus y is equal to b, so y is equal to b minus a. Okay, and minus b plus y. Similarly here, minus b plus y is equal to minus a, means minus b plus y is equal to minus a, means y is equal to b minus a. Okay, so all values, all these diagonals I can easily find by using this triangle law, means two vectors in same direction, third in opposite gives me resultant. So this is this comes out to a minus b, because this plus this is equal to this. This is b minus a. Moreover, if this is b minus a, this will be negative of this. This is b minus a, so this will be a minus b, because they are opposite vectors, but they are equal in magnitude. They all are diagonals of the square. Okay, if this is x, then same way you can find from any, you can use any triangle. You can use this triangle also, you can use this triangle also. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. So minus a plus x is equal to b, so x is equal to b plus a, because x is parallel to this, so it is b plus a. If x is like this, then it is negative of minus of a minus of b, because this, if this is a plus b, that is minus of a minus b. Okay, next is like a plus b is always equal to b plus a. If I vector add a to b or I add b to a, my resultant will remain same. But one thing you have to remember, that for a vector to be for a quantity to be vector, it should obey vector law of addition, means a plus b should be equal to b plus a. We always say that vector is a quantity which has magnitude and direction, but it is not necessary, because if I see, current has magnitude and direction, but it is not a vector because it doesn't obey the vector law of addition. See, see, 3 ampere current is entering, 2 is entering, going out is 5 ampere, and angle between these two wires is theta. If I change this angle from theta to increase this value, the value of 5 ampere doesn't change. But in case of forces, if I change the theta, my resultant force used to change. So this is, current is not a vector quantity, it is a scalar quantity. No doubt it has magnitude and direction, but it is not a vector. Okay, so for quantity to be vector, it should obey vector law of addition also. If vector law of addition is not obeyed, it is not a vector. This is very, very important. Okay.